Welcome, everyone. It's time for a traditional draft of Core Set 2021. Pretty decisive vote from chat today after some very tight ones all week long. It was very close with Amonkhet Remastered, but I think people are tiring of the what has emerged as. I feel I'm a little behind everybody, but after this week, I'm definitely caught up on the feeling that yes, you can sometimes get away with the late game cool stuff in Amonkhet Remastered, but mostly it's exert heavy aggro, and again, exert just is a mechanic that, as long as it's a backbone of your format, is going to create aggro because exert is all in attacking. So my attackers are better than your blockers, and then your attackers are better than my blockers. And when you create formats like that, you get triple Zendikar, you get triple Amonkhet, you get Amonkhet Remastered, you get hyper aggro, and especially in best of one, where then it's like, oh, I lost the coin flip 5 times. Actually, if you lose the coin flip, you probably don't get 5 times in Premiere. But we're in best of 3. That's another thing I like about switching to M21 here, is that we get to play 3 guaranteed rounds. Well, if we go 0-2, I don't know if we'll play the 3rd, but we get to play 3 rounds of best of 3, and that means sideboarding. That means thinking about late picks differently and trying to find some tools to respond to what our opponents might be doing in game 2 and 3. Sometimes I draft the hard way so much that we end up low on sideboardable stuff, but we are going to figure out, if you're low on sideboardable stuff for your modern deck, your standard deck, your main deck commander stuff, you can, of course, go to my sponsor, cardkingdom.com. They are purveyors of all the physical stuff you need for your tabletop Magic experience, from supplies to sealed product to singles, for everything from the earliest stuff the game ever had to offer to the latest stuff coming out next week or whatever. If it can be pre-ordered, you can pre-order it there. They are working towards getting back to normal shipping levels. Everybody's struggling with shipping a little bit right now in the world, but Card Kingdom is still getting their cards out ASAP, relative to the times, still excellent on that front. And anyway, if you go to that affiliate link of mine, anytime you're thinking of shopping for physical Magic stuff, remember that you can go there via my link and support the show. It matters. We review those numbers, and when you click my link and make a purchase at Card Kingdom, it changes a spreadsheet that matters to my future meetings. So keep that in mind and do what you can to support this show, and we'll keep having a great time here drafting magical cards together. Looks like we're filling up pretty well here. Let's get to the draft view, too, before I forget that. Sometimes I listen to you all when I remember. I was estimating how much of chat I actually read, like in terms of sheer words. What percentage of the words people type into chat does Ryan actually read? I don't know. You all would know better than me. Yeah, that's true. Anybody wants to draft with me, we're waiting. Come on in. Just don't use hidden information to wreck me or to help yourself. Just go dark. Some spreads on the percentage question. I've seen low as 25, high as 75. Good time zone, Gaitsu. Or are you saying that to Fizzles? Yeah, I already said hello to you. I already said hello to you. Hi, Fiddles. Zach asks, how do you think that remastered will be how... Remastered will be how WotC... Oh, yeah, for sure. Let me... I guess I can, while we're waiting, actually just hop to Soapbox. So Zach asks, Ryan, do you think that Remastered will be how WotC backlogs sets to Arena in the future? Certainly it's going to be a core of that. I think remastering is a great thing to do for 2+ set block draft experiences anyway. It's very rare that a second set mixed in with the first set, or a third and second set mixed in with the first, and once you mix sets, it becomes very hard to design that cohesive experience. I talked about wanting to play drafting that's based on experienced game designers crafting an experience for me, as opposed to like grab bag random stuff, right? And so I really think that, as frustrating as I found Amonkhet Remastered to be in terms of my results, and how maybe it doesn't have legs because it's so aggro, I still like the mixed set triple better than a mix than two sets of one and one of another. So maybe they could have remastered some of the aggro away somehow, but I still think that it was a worthy experiment that created largely an improved draft experience over triple Amonkhet. And for beloved sets, like if they go back and let's say they go back and remaster Innistrad, now you're in weird territory because triple Innistrad is already beloved. Like, what are you going to do? But I would argue no designer's ever done. They had to ship Innistrad before they, you give a designer extra time, the designer will take it and iterate and try to make it better, right? So I refuse to believe that an experienced Magic environment designer, format designer, couldn't take the baseline of Innistrad, add in the potential of Dark Ascension, and make something that's even greater than the original Innistrad. So I do think that remastering multi-set blocks is a great way to craft a better draft experience, hand select the stuff you need to get into the system for constructed, and do it faster rather than releasing set by set. If you figure they're only going to do a remaster every N months, it's a way to get more cards faster. But I would also say it would not surprise me to get an Arena Masters. We talk about remastering a block. That's one thing. What about Arena Masters? What about... Except Arena Masters suggests reprints of stuff on Arena, but what I mean is what about Arena Special? Some format that's not remastering a block, but is saying we're creating a brand new set out of reprints that aren't on Arena yet, and this is one of the other ways we're going to get cards too. So I don't think that it will be the only way that they deal with the backlog, but it's going to be one of the main ways. But then I see some other ways they could possibly do that as well. So there you go. I thought I got the update. Maybe I need to cancel. I don't think this is about me. I think this is just about wait time. I already quit and came back. Burning Tree Vandal for Ton Machine, sure. Gotta switch views for that, but I'll do that and then we'll figure it out.
To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal, light up a stage and wax a chump like a candle. Dance!
Highlighted messages, certainly higher. That does work. It does pop and I see them. Yeah, so if they're doing Pioneer Masters, I didn't know they announced that or anything, Hat, but like if they're doing a physical product called Pioneer Masters, no doubt they're going to offer that in Arena, right? That would be nuts for them to make a physical Pioneer Masters set and not offer on Arena if what they're trying to do is get Pioneer onto Arena. Homelands Remastered, I don't think you can help Homelands. Maybe that actually, you're kind of, Tron is joking and saying, wake me up when we get to Homelands Remastered, but honestly, that's kind of gets into, what were they called on, maybe they were the first Masters sets. What were there was like 4 sets on Magic Online that were basically taking all the cards that were printed and designed before Mirage. Mirage was the first set in Magic that was designed with limited in mind. actually designed with limited play as an expected goal for the set. So pre-Mirage, the limit, you can draft them, but it's not a great draft experience because they just weren't designed for it. So there was a series of Magic Online sets that were taking everything pre-Mirage and trying to repackage it in a draftable way. That was one of Eric Lauer's jobs, is to take pre-Mirage stuff and turn it into draftable stuff for Magic Online with mixed results. But at the end of the day, it did get the cards on the system in a better way than just reprinting old booster sets. Boy, do we need to back out of this? Maybe I need 5 people in chat to come play traditional with me. Or maybe we back out and go do Heroku app. Something else. I mean, it certainly looked like Amonkhet Remastered was not what people wanted to see. Yeah, I guess I should quit and make sure this isn't just my mistake. So let me back out of this. I thought I already did this, but I didn't do the whole open the window and find the root folder and open the different folder and find the subfolder and then click on the executable in the subfolder, because that's how normal games ask their players to update stuff, right? You just want Snapcaster? We'll see. Fantasia says, you think our Amonkhet was way better than Amonkhet Remastered? Yeah, you could make that argument, but here's what I would say. I think if you took, if you made an hour focused, basically made an Amonkhet Remastered. Sorry, let me rephrase. They are beholden to crafting a Amonkhet Remastered experience that, first and foremost, injects the system with the cards they want to inject. And so that's going to mean a bunch of commons and uncommons that are just Amonkhet aggro, right? And if you need those in the system, they just need to be part of your environment. And so I think you may be correct, Fantasia, or certainly, I mean, you're talking about an opinion. There's no correct there. Of course, you're correct. If you liked it better, you liked it better. But I understand how you got there, and I'm saying I think if they were not beholden to actually reprinting very specific cards at common and uncommon for constructed, and their only job with Amonkhet Remastered was to create the best draft experience possible, then I think you could have leaned into the Amonkhet Remastered themes way more heavily, really knocked the legs out of some of the aggro in Amonkhet, and produced a set that you would have liked even better than our Amonkhet. That would be my theory there, is that they're beholden to reprinting stuff that prevented creating the format that I think as drafters we all wanted, but I think that format could have been created if the goals had been different. All right, let's see what this does. Hopefully that was it, and we'll get going here. But it's been a reasonable excuse for some chatty chats. Have not played any Fall Guys yet. I feel like I've already missed that boat. Like, would you all really want me to see me play Fall Guys at this point? Is that still even? I just feel like I would be that's so last week or so last year at this point. And also, I just feel like whenever I change games, my audience plummets. Now, Tony Hawk Pro Skater Remake. if I had to list my top 10 most played video games in terms of pure hours, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 would probably crack the top 10. Probably not the top 5, but I think that's when the series peaked too, by the way. Changed my mind. And here's why. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 did not have infinity. You could not just chain moves forever. There wasn't this unbounded potential. You had to actually end your trick. and like, I don't know. I think actually having a forced run out of your trick so that you have to complete the thing and is way better than unbounded. I can trick for an hour if I string this all together. And I get the appeal there too. I suppose if that's what you're into, fine. But I liked when you have a nice ceiling, then you take a shot at it and you can take a shot at it again. It's easy to keep taking shots at something that's close, that, like, hey, a given trick can only last N seconds, and therefore I can take shots again and again at my best trick. Whereas if your, quote, best trick can be an hour, I've lost all interest in trying to make my best trick. So close. Fantasia asks, are a bunch of commons and uncommons that won't see constructed play that important? Not necessarily, but you still need to craft your environment. And surely, like, maybe we could go in and find constructed, meaningless commons and uncommons that support aggro in the draft format, that if we swapped, we could make it more friendly to the our side of stuff. So there's still design work that could be done on Amonkhet Remastered, of course. But I think, again, once you're beholden to some level of aggro, white or aggro exert, you kind of get locked into that a bit. What's jumping out at you here? Oh gosh! First of all, I need to get in the draft view. Second, this is not a great draft experience. Right now I'm looking at Brontodon, Feet of Resistance, Hunter's Edge, or Spark Hunter Manticore, and I kind of am actually leaning like Feet over Hunter's Edge and Brontodon. There's no other good white in this pack either, so it's a reasonable cut. But it's like, but now I know you can't see it, so I'm trying to figure out how I can get you to see it without. Let's try game capture. I can refresh this game capture. All right, I'm going to confirm the Feet pick. I'm going to select. Okay, the second pack has Unsubstantiate, another Feet of Resistance, Pride Malkin. I'm going to put second Feet on reserve, and now I'm going to exit the draft and reload. And hopefully coming back in here will recapture the screen. It usually does. There we go. Hopefully we'll get there by our third pick. Oh, it deselected our pick, but we got there. Hey, look at us. 2 Feet of Resistance, Pride Malkin here. Blossoming Sands would be nice on the wheel if we could get that, but I do not mind starting out with a couple of feats. Oh my gosh. Feet, and then Conclave Mentor over third Feet. We have a plan, folks. I hate passing that third Feet, but certainly rewarded for those first two. Ooh, I'm not feeling that lucky, Haj. I'm going to take the gift as handed. Swooper here to cut the white over like a Sky Scanner, or dipping into another color for like a Slag or an Opt. We really want to make Conclave double Feet work here, and I'm loving the Gale Swooper, especially in this kind of thing. These green-white decks can do a lot of work on turns 1 through 3, and by 3 have a pretty beefy board built up for, you know, by turn 3 standards, and then you drop the swooper and boom, that Pteranodon is in the air for 4, you know? So now we get a training that is going to be better for us to carve out our corner than the Dino. I suppose you could make an argument for like Magmut or Wizardry, because Magmut and Wizardry are another nice place to go with this core white start. But the Mentor is so powerful, especially with the 2 feats that we have that are so powerful. I really would love to... I'm leaning this way a little bit, and I'm going to take the training. And, you know, Trample, no joke when you're building monsters with feats of resistance and Conclave Mentor. There's a Tranquil Cove if we wanted to do some splashing. Warded Battlements is probably good enough here. We're best of 3. We could take Rambunctious Mutt as a sideboard option. Yeah, Gems is also not bad. Maybe we do just take Gems here. I'm with... I'll do as Hodge suggests, like... yeah, this is maybe a sideboard option, I suppose. I've never figured out when to bring this in, but I haven't actually had that many options. True, you're right. Battlements is fine. But I think I'll do an opportunity cost demonstration of gem value. Even though our account doesn't need it because we're pretty flush on gems, this is absolutely a place where it's great to take a rare that for gem value. And here we get to take a playable rare. So we get gem value and a fine playable. I mean, effectively, this is a 2/2 flash for 2, but it also happens to hose one of the decks in the format. If we do face blue-black, we'll be happy to have a Containment Priest. Black has some cards showing up, I suppose, but I don't see it as wide open here. Maybe I'm just blind to black at this point when it comes to M21 draft. Titanic Growth, not amazing. Do we like it more than the not amazing Dinosaur? Maybe we just need the dudes right now. A random dino going to be better than a random pump? I think so. We've got Feat of Resistance. That's what we want to spend 2 mana on as a combat trick. I suppose Breath could have been a reasonable spec as well, but I'm clinging to this Mentor start here. Portcullis Vine, no. Canopy Stalker. There are worlds where we run this. I've never liked running this, but if you can counter it up, you can do worse. Yeah, sideboard Mutt is an option too. I'd rather get... Mutt's not exactly how I'd rather have the green, but let's take Stalker as a possible main deck relative to the clear sideboard card to me. Pegasus is fine here in this format and with this start. We could use some Acolytes. We want the Baron's Lifelinker to make this really good. Like when you can on turn 4 throw a counter here and make a 2/4 flyer, that's pretty nice. Don't love to see this. Generally means we're not reading, we're not in the right lane when the tail end of a pack has none of your color, but I still like our start. I think this is a reasonably strong start. And yeah, I don't mind the pick 11 gems either. Basri, sorry, Baron Basri. It is, BA something. Golem for the sideboard or hedge towards possible black. I don't think we could... maybe. Yeah. Let's take the Golem. Another sideboard option there. Hey, Battlements came back. That's good to see, really. I mean, I took gems over this first time through, right? And we get some sort of mythic that has white mana symbols, so I'm probably going to take it. Is this any good? How many do we have? All right, we build collection a little bit. Whenever an opponent attacks with creatures, if 2 or more of those creatures are attacking you and or planes are going to draw a card, so they can't... Okay, I mean, it's just generically good stuff, and not going to take, like, Chorister or Pride Malkin over it. It's just solid, right? Doesn't seem hyper amazing, but it seems really annoying for Oppo. That's a new feature they put in. You hold down the Alt key. I should do that more often so people can see. Oh man, I'd love to collection build on a Grim Tutor, but we're going to take the Acolyte. That is specifically what I called for, so yeah. This is the glue. This is what we want. So this seems hopeful. We got some good white-green early, then the packs dried up, but as Haj observed, it seems like the packs were just kind of dry in our colors, and that maybe we are in a good spot. That wheeled battlements really filled me with some hope for where this is headed. But yeah, the Malkin, we've passed a couple Malkins, would love to get some Malkins going. We could ditch green. You're right. I shouldn't marry it too much. That really, I'm kind of marrying Mentor. It's so good. It's so good with the double feet, you know. And if we can get some of those kitties, but I hear you. Like this is not. I should cut these to remind myself that I don't consider those important cards. Like this is a more fair assessment of where we're actually at. But then we get a Pteranodon, and I'm like, in. Right? What else are we taking if not? I mean, we take Waker and head towards blue, but we did it. Still going to leave these in the board to remind me that they're not high priorities and shouldn't be affecting me too much. Now we have to ask if we want a third Resistance or a first Mauler. But yeah, I think feat number 3, right? It's that good. I saw the one in a green, thought we might have another Pteranodon, but we do not. Probably Fungal Rebirth here. Allow us to get back some Acolyte or Mangara. We have some reasonable permanents to get back. Yeah, it's also nice as an instant. Great call from True that things like feat get better as you have other things to do when you decide not to feat. So that helps with that as well. Here's a mutt we can take for the board. There's also some gems. Run afoul. For gem modeling, I would say your gems are going to be, your gem EV is much higher taking gems than either of these two cards. But it depends on what we're modeling. Again, this doesn't really matter to us. This account doesn't appear to be running out of gems anytime soon. But yeah, I suppose you could argue for a possible splash even. All right, I'll continue to model gem stuff just because everything here is sideboard. And our deck is coming together. We have depth in our starting. I'll take a Shield Mate. This is not the one drop we want. Of course, we're looking for Choristers over Shield Mates, but poor Mage's Chorister here. Yeah, that is a real late Dowser. Are we locked into green yet, do you think? Or do we take this on the hedge that it only costs us a Shield Mate? Maybe we do take the Dowser. It is an absurdly late Dowser. I think we should just stick to it. And look, I'm immediately rewarded for sticking to guns because Pride Malkin is exactly what we want here. And this is, as I said, this is what I'm hoping to get in terms of sideboard material for Naturalize effects. Hey, Chorister, get in our pile. That's on the wheel too. Very nice. Defiant Strike, or maybe Secure the Scene. Defiant Strike is main deckable, and you can like cast it on a Pteranodon and get it attacking and draw a card or whatever. But Secure and Run Afoul are decent sideboard options. But yeah, let's take Secure and figure to board it. Getting a 5-drop Fatty, also a fine thing to do for sideboard purposes. And so Scoured Barrens, you know, if we did think we wanted to play this, we're getting tools to splash. Tranquil Cove's Tool to Splash Blue. We don't really want to splash in this deck, though. White-green just wants to curve out aggro. That is not a rare we're going to take here. We actually probably just want the doggy. Warden, maybe we just take Warden. Maybe Warden is good enough to take here. I tend to like a bit more of a low-down deck with white-green, but Warden is good enough to play as a top end. I'm going to cut these lands. They're distracting me. I'll just remember we have them. So there's Doggy versus Warden suggestions here. Exactly. Radiantware is pointing out why I was leaning Doggy, but now that I am going to take Warden. I still think even in a deck like this is so powerful. Having this as a top end is great for a deck like this. And although, yeah, with a second one here, I don't know if we want to do that over probably just a Chorister over feat number 4. Fourth feat. Dogs should not wheel, but stranger things have happened. Yeah, I think we need Chorister number 2, and then we can cut shield mates. That's true. Maybe we can wheel the Chorister, but Alex says feat 4 easy. I'm gonna take the Chorister. You can have feat flood and Hunter's Edge, great here. Maybe you can wheel a swift response, but love me a Hunter's Edge. Here's a doggy I think I take over Chorister number 3. Two Choristers I like, but they do get very hard to activate when you have 2 of them together. But they're so good, I like to increase my chances of having one on turn 1. So I think 2 Choristers is my preferred number of them in a deck like this, and that we're on Watchdog now. No, see, no worries. That's what I didn't say it, but like the one reason not to take the feat is the table doesn't seem to want them. Heck, I should probably just take Temple. I think you could justify a Temple pick here if you are a gem hungry account. But I'm going to take the feat. But we're done with feats. Burl Fist is fine. Maybe we want a battalion. The battalion... Burl Fist is just fine, but it's double green, which is awkward. I can't believe that. I would have early in the set said this looks way better than this, but actually with our curve and with what we're doing and with where we're heavy, I actually want the battalion. And we're not splashing any red. There's been some suggestion we could make use of a Gorehorn in a deck like this because we have all these feats, but then we just have an 8/4, which is also blockable and killable. I think we just want Mutt for the board here. Best of 3, yeah. Doggy does come back. How about that? So does the Wingmare. But we were debating Warden of the Woods or Doggy right out of the gate here. Wingmare is interesting. Most of our stuff after 3 is creatures anyway. But I'm going to take the Doggy. Woof, woof indeed, buddy. Here's a Hound we are not going to play. You can take Shieldmate. I'm not going to play Shieldmate either, though. I'm going to take Bolt Hound for Vault Progress, just because we're not playing another Shieldmate. And another Dino we're also probably not playing. I will take the Gorehorn here for consideration, but I don't think it's going to make the cut either. But maybe it's going to be a sideboard consideration. And Revitalize, if we're getting super aggroed, I suppose we could play that too. Here's another Gorehorn. So I feel like we had a good draft, but we actually don't have a ton of playables here in our main deck. So that's something to see how it plays. 80 on the grind, though, is nice. Update my spreadsheet a little bit before I forget all that. Missing the grind stuff is what prompts me to come and update, because if I don't do it now, I have to go hunting through my video later looking at the end of the draft. white-green traditional M21. We paid cold hard gems for this experience. All right. Thank you for the sub. We could cut the Warden, add a 4-drop, and cut a land and make this a caps at 4 thing. But I'd rather, I think, run 17 best of 3 here and play the Warden. Yeah, battlements isn't doing much. Let me look at our overall numbers. Yeah, we got 17 creatures too, so it's not like, I mean, creature is the right thing to cut. I wish we had more 3s. Maybe battlements is better than, like, Shieldmate. I'm not going to cut the training. I mean, we don't have that much to work with here, and training on Pteranodon is still a big game. I still like that a lot. And I like that, because I want to be reactive with feet. I really want to counter their spell or win combat with feet. I don't want to turn my Pteranodon into a 2-for-1 target. Yeah, Battlement is absolutely better for Flyers decks, but is it actually better for this deck than... or is it actually worse for this deck than a Shieldmate or a Secure the Scene? I mean, I acknowledge this is not great for this deck, but what else are we talking about running? So, like, I feel like we're running one of the, or we could run a Dino too, I suppose, or this Stalker. And also, let me get into deck building. You can see the deck a little better here. Fantasia likes trimming this down to a lean, mean machine. Maybe. Then I definitely would want, like, warded battlements and, like, Shieldmate. Like, you could do something like this. And then, oh, that even allows for one more, like a Stalker. But then we're just clogged at 4, and that can be really awkward for a 16-lander too. Like, this is just more at 4 than I even want for a 16-lander, so I would rather bring in the Warden and cut the Stalker and go back to 17. Also, I'm going to choose some lands unless nobody wants to pick some bling here. I think I'm on cut mate over cut battalion, over battlements. We're intending to attack a bunch. We even have fungal rebirth, and basically when warded battlements is increasing your small attackers by the power by 50 to 100%, that's a decent return. And effectively, if I'm attacking with 3 creatures, warded battlements is like a 3/3, right? So that stays back on D. I like that better than the Shieldmate, and I'm going to cut that, and I'm going to find my lands, unless nobody wants... Ooh, Mama bought the Avatar. Ah, there we go. And we get Thematic Jumpstart Dog Basics in the Forest of My Choice. You got it. Where is that? We'll do 2 Jumpstart, though, so we set JMP, and we'll get Doggy Plains, and don't we have, like... We have a dinosaur in our deck, so I'll pick Dino Forest for the Pteranodon. And I do think 9/8 is correct if we're going to go 17. We do have a double green at the top end, and we do want to get Pteranodon and Mentor down early if we have the opportunity. Yeah, I mean, let's start here, and we can think about running one of these creatures that you know, the Stalker is pretty good with feet, because you send in somebody has to block, and then you feet to turn feet into removal. I could get down. I could see that, but yeah, what would we? Maybe we cut the battlements for that. Should we try that? Because I acknowledge battlements is definitely not at its best here. I just liked it better than the shield mate, but I think, and we are pretty thick at 4, which I don't love. But let's try it. There's 4 feet, which makes me think of quadrupeds, like on all 4s. That's what I'm going to call it. Because we have doggies and 4 feets. Yeah, and we have just so many 4s. If we could convert one of those excellent 4s into an excellent 3, like turn a swooper into a Pride Malkin or something, I think it would be even better. Feet's too big is excellent. I like that. Oh yeah, right. Sorry, Mama. I'm working on it. You caught me just in time. What am I doing? Jace. Mama can't get her puppet, so she's gonna get her avatar.
Love a good puzzle.
All right, update data here. I like the deck again. When I can end up with a nice set of white-green cards in this format, I'm pretty happy. We'll see what if 4 feet is too many feet. It can be. We could absolutely experience feet flood with this deck, but I think it's correct. You know, we just hope to draw them staggered. Nice. We'll keep this. Yeah, I can T-par this. Oppo mulliganing, also good for us. Oh yeah. Not only muting Bolthound, just... I almost conceded again, though. Jeez, that's dangerous. Let's see, what do we like? I think I like Containment Priest at instant speed here. It's the most power we can put on the board. And if they do happen to have some removal, you know, we don't give them that option until they've decided what to do with their main phases. Yeah, well, we don't know it's white-blue, though. This could be a splash land. But you're right, it's pretty safe against white-blue. We don't tap it. Alright, they're gonna deny it. That would be one reason to not do that, but I kind of don't mind that denial, although if we could have played around it into the future, that might have been better. But let's... now I'm going to go ahead and drop the Mentor, because we could have the option next turn of Hunter's Edging something, and worth the risk here. And also, they're showing Counter Magic. Getting it down while they're tapped out is also nice. Chorister. Well, let's see. If we attack and they've got the destroy target tapped creature, we don't have any defense for our Mentor. I don't know if it's worth losing the Mentor for that. We could also go for a Swooper and see if there's any kind of pause. Although there wouldn't be a pause because there's no tapped creatures yet. So we could just play. We could play Peggy and Chorister. Maybe double spelling is the way to go, and being super conservative about the Mentor. I don't know if you would be attacking, but we are playing Rebirth, but I don't want to just count on rebirthing this later. I'm going to be super conservative here and play out 2 threats, but not attack with the Mentor. Swift Justice, right? Is that the card I'm thinking of? Swift whatever is too real with the Mentor. Swift Response, thank you. I knew it was Swift something. Now, hopefully they find a 2-drop creature, play it, we Hunter's Edge it and go to town, or we just swoop, and, or heck, so that still concerns me. They're still showing kill the Mentor. So I'm going to swoop the Chorister, and I'm going to play Swooper and leave the Mentor back again. Oh, that's on the... Okay, here. You just want to pump. I like building the board over pumping. I mean, we pump and we get in 3 once. We play the Swooper, we get in 3 for the rest of the game, right? Ostensibly. Yeah, well, yeah, was there no pause when I was, when I had tapped creatures? I should have been paying attention, you're right.
It takes impressive knowledge to be a temporal archmage.
Well, Tef should die here, because we can Hunter's Edge the Vine away on the Chorister even, and create 2 3-power threats. Scotty. Let's slow this down. I'm going to do it. That's true. Phasing in response to Edge. So do we... Maybe we just send, let Teferi do what Teferi's going to do, and then decide after the fact. Yeah, you're right. I forget Teferi's can mess with you on your turn, so we don't want to lose our edge to that. But I bet... I mean, they got a blocker... Like, Teferi's got to... die here, right? I don't know. Like, why don't we just send everything at Teferi, and then what do they even do? They put something on the Mentor. All right, and they do that. So then, yeah. So Tef is just dead because we get 5 minimum here. So now I just kind of like saving the Hunter's Edge. They probably draw off the Vine, and that's fine. So we're just going to wait and see about using this Hunter's Edge on whatever they come up for defense. Why no pump? Oh, good point. I should have pumped. Well, because it didn't matter. I guess we got lifelink. Yeah, I should have done it for the lifelink. But it may even, in this board state... Now, I didn't think about it, and as always, when I fail to think about it, that in and of itself is the mistake. But an argument to not pump there is to at least represent something like feet. And it's like the life total doesn't, the life gain doesn't really matter, and we weren't doing damage to their face. We had to attack everyone at that because if we sent, I guess we could have sent, if we send Chorister at face, they could have blocked and saved Tef. All right, that's a nice draw. I like it better than using the Hunter's Edge on a Portcullis Vine. So let's go... Yeah, 2 flyers, but Tef was at 5, and the flyers represented 4. Let's just spread around... Well, let's put it on the Chorister. It attacks through the Vine and is lifelinky. probably didn't need to send the Mentor because now it's exposed to the swift response. Wait, what was it? Swift response, yeah. Well, duress on the splash? Yikes. Yeah, Sanctum. Seems like a Sanctum deck, right? But you'd think they would have one by now if this was a Sanctum deck. But what kind of... I feel the need to win against duress on the splash. Let's make it happen. Going for the skies here, though. Actually, could go Mentor so that it has attacks. Let's go Pegasus Mentor and then everything has attacks. Chorister already has attacks. Mentor doesn't, and Pegasus is a weak attack. So I'm just going to make the two things... yeah, we can do Pride. Pride doesn't have a good attack yet either. So, and Pegasus has an attack, it's just not big. But then Pride and Mentor means like literally everything can attack, so I like it. I don't think we need to worry about losing Trample either. We just need to go Hog here. I think we can even handle a red first strike trick. Like, we, at this point, I'm just trying to overwhelm Oppo before they do any shenanigans with their Wooburg. I mean... yeah, you got a trick, go for it. I'm a little scared too, Frieder, but let's trade for some stuff out of their hand, sure. I think more likely they're blocking with Vine and sacking and drawing a card. But with the Trample, that's not even good for them. If they block a Trampler. Which is really all we're attacking with on the ground. And that might seem silly to do that before blocking, but as I said, it's not silly that you know, sacking it after blocks would have been the same thing. Block sack wouldn't have done anything, JM. They could have blocked and not sacked, but block sack does nothing. All of our ground creatures trampled. Okay, best of 3. We can actually sideboard. We are expecting shrines, question mark, but didn't really see any. Miscast main, like weird deck. I feel like we should win this. Floxy 4-bet. You're making some suspect choices. I'm not sure exactly what's going on in your deck, but I can't support what you're doing as a high win percentage play. But then again, I haven't seen your whole deck yet, so maybe I don't understand yeah, what you're up to. But they have a normal sized deck. It's not... You just want to resend? Yeah, I don't even know what to do with that other than say, hey, we have our default aggro build here. Seems fine. Let's do it. I'm with Gaitsu. Sometimes you run it back. I mean, we have a mutt we could bring in, but we didn't even see a shrine. Like, we could guess shrine and bring in a mutt, but I want to see something before... I'm just going to go with what we got until then. Need some land here, but Chorister, Watchdog into eventual these 4s is nice. Gotta keep this. Take out duress targets. I'm just gonna try and cast my duress targets. All right, that's great to see. We needed land and we needed green, and we got both on our first draw. Coming up, Millhouse here. There's the Sanctum. We thought that's probably what they were up to, but just didn't see any of that in game 1. I like our tools to race here, though. Just need one more land, and then I'm loving our spot. Play Mongra into Acolyte, putting a counter on our 2 lifelinkers. Malkin. Now, we need a 4th land on the top for it to be perfect, but finding a 3 here, pretty amazing. Where do we put it, though? If we put it on the Chorister, we can't attack because we're setting up just a trade situation. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the dog so we get a good attack this turn. And Acolyte plus feet plus edge, etc. is going to allow for attacks in the future. But getting an attack right now is what I want to do. Attack and feat is another option there, but I like using all our mana on the 3. If we find a basic land, we're just in heaven. We get to our choice. And even when you don't, we have the feat play, so we still, like, any draw is fine. I guess I don't want this 5/7. That's our worst draw. Yeah, can't feat to protect against colorless, but that's one of the reasons I made a 3/3. I still think we just send the dog, though, unfortunately. This could get real for us, too. Might need to get into... we use feat to save something. So, wow, no shrines in game 1, and now the shrines are showing up. Well, certainly, doggy. You'd send all, huh? But then we're trading Chorister for Prismite. You want to do that? When we could protect Chorister from Sanctum with feat and have that potentially be relevant. If we send all, they take 3. They block Malkin with Vine and just trade with the Chorister. I'm surprised that you all want to make those trades. I'm going to use feat to save whatever they try in Sanctum and just send the doggy here. G-Guard says, we need to race 4 life swing a turn? Sure, but if they're going to use their red Sanctum as removal, taking out one of our attackers certainly does not help in that race, right? Yeah, and I think saving something with feat is going to help us do exactly that. If we find a land on top, we get to turn the Chorister into a 3/3. I think that's not... We might never pump it, but we can get it to a 3/3, 4/4 even if we then Hunter's Edge with it, you know? Like, I'm counting on finding a land here and it changing our situation. And I probably use feat at the end of the turn. Like, this is what? Oh man, this is just sitting around doing this at instant speed, huh? That's annoying. But G-Guards, if we can get to 3 toughness and they don't find another Sanctum, this no longer does that. So I think in order to do exactly what you're saying, which is race this, we need to protect our creatures and get them above Sanctum level. That being said, now we're in a spot where, what do? We can cast one of our 4s, but in doing so, we go shields down on the Sanctum, and it can take out any of our Chorister or Malkin. So now I do like the attack, and I'll accept a trade, really with either one of them, so that we can follow. Yeah, we can edge the Watchdog to kill the Prismite, and then just give one of these up too. But I like. Feat we can't save against the Prismite, but I'm going to see what they want to do. I'm going to attack first. It's the Shrine in response that is getting us here. So I want to see if we can get them to, you know, use the Shrine. Yeah, right. I mean, this could potentially shoot 3 times. Like, there's a world in which Oppo has 6 damage to throw around. I think we're seeing the more intentional side of Oppo's deck this time. Like, if the black and red shrines are the main thing, then the duress makes a little more sense, even especially. But yeah, this is fine. So now we'll take the Chorister trade. And I think even we can give up the Kitty, but if we drop Mangara, we have 2 cards that can't really be got by the Shrine unless they double fire. We can go shields down on feat and then untap with Acolyte into pumping up further. Note that Oppo did not take the shields down time to Pride Malkin, and in fact, It didn't even pause for Oppo, right? If it didn't pause for Oppo, it means that none of the 3 cards they had in hand were Shrine or Land. So another thing that could be happening here is that they just don't even have the tools to activate this. Well, I thought the game was going to be a little more complicated than that, but we'll take it, Oppo, if you think that's too much to beat. Yeah, probably a 5-color deck that could not activate their Shrine and just felt like that was it, I guess. But that felt maybe a little early. If they had any sort of pinpoint removal for our 2-4 there. Yeah, it feels like maybe somebody got trapped into Shrineage there, and sometimes it's going to work, but it's a tough thing to pull off. You know, mana bases and limited are tough to pull off at 2 colors. You go to 5 colors, you're asking for some unplayable cards. Yeah, we disagreed on that one play, but that's when I figured they were going to try and shrine one of our creatures, but I never even got to play out the feat plan because they apparently didn't have it. Got to mulligan this, not doing anything. Much better. I'm going to keep and ditch the Warden. Warden's pretty far off here. I don't love leading with a Mentor. If we find another 2-drop creature, I would love to do that instead. Because like your perfect curve would be 2-drop, you know, Doggy, 3-drop Battalion, 4-drop Mentor with Feet Up. That's hard to beat. But we're not going to mess around. We are going to play our Mentor. I just would prefer if we had something else to lead with. Snap Pass from Oppo. They could have a swift response or whatever, but we're going to attack first. And if they do, we get a great feat. No pause, though, even, so hopefully that's good news for us. I'm going to put this out. If we can untap with these 2 buddies in play and a feat in hand, I'm pretty happy. Just need to find a 3rd creature. Black-white life gain. Don't you do it. Don't you kill my stuff. Don't. You just let me untap now. You just play yourself a little 3-drop creature. That's it. You get a 3-drop creature. That's what you get right now, Oppo. Oh, that's okay. That's okay, actually. Feeling good now. If they mind rot, of course, we just have to throw the feet onto something, but for having mulliganed to 6 and then been mind rotted on 3, we're doing all right. This is a queue that does not have ranked participation. Rank is not a factor. We're going to attack and go ahead and use feet as removal here if Crypt Lurker blocks. Kind of puts us shields down. We end up like, all right, here we are. So it's really unfortunate that we've flooded out so much here, and although the Mind Rot made it all a little bit moot. Well, one way you know rank is a factor is that it actually shows rank in next to the usernames. So if rank is being calculated for your event, it'll be there on screen. But in the abstract, traditional best of 3 doesn't use rank. Sealed doesn't use rank, but draft best of 1 does. I suppose we make a 6/4 with trample. Yeah, what's going on here? I don't... record. Just win-loss record. So ostensibly this is a 1-0 player against us 1-0 player. Grow Mentor and attack with both. Well, because I don't necessarily want to trade Mentor for a Gorehorn. But we can train the Mentor at least. Thing is, we might, I mean, do we want a 3-2 trample Mentor, or it's already good. I don't necessarily want to make this better. It's already a target. Kind of want to make the battalion better. I'm going to do that. It also makes the battalion trample. Ugh, too much land. And I'm going to be patient now. I'm not attacking here. I want to, we have 3 more feats of resistance. Let's see if we can find one of those or find one of our swoopers. Let's launch the battalion. Oppo has a lot of, yeah, I was gonna say a lot of cards though and a lot of colors, so I'm not hopeful here. I mean, this is an embarrassing situation to be losing to, but we did mulligan and then and flood. We've mulliganed and flooded. Containment Priest. Not going to be very good here, but I'm still going to just attack with Mentor and take 7 and follow with the Priest and see what we can find. I mean, this is just bad, folks, but magic is magic. Sometimes you can lose to bad stuff, but Akinza, not trying to be mean, but I don't, like, if you are, I don't know what you're doing, but there's no justification for 4 colors and a land that does not produce colored mana. If you're gonna, if there's any way, but also to understand where this 4 colors is coming from. This looks like random stuff. Like, these are last picks in a 4-color deck. Usually, if you're doing 4 colors, it's because you're doing stuff that's so powerful. You take those risks with your mana, right? Yeah, it does feel like a new player. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm saying feels like somebody new. But now I don't know what these cards are, but we're quasi stable here. So I'm gonna play the swooper and pass. Well, let's see if we can somehow recover this game. We've fallen far behind. We're on the back foot whole game after a mulligan and a mind rot. But right now we have trades, so we had trades. Now we have no choices. We have to double block the Gorehorn and hope we find an answer to the corpse. Stupid tableau. One of my oldest, bestest friends is works for Tableau. Oh my god. Right? We blow him out if we just have this a turn earlier. Oh well. Sometimes you don't draw stuff at the right time. And we're not dead yet. We could find a creature that we can feat and turn this around still.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
That's going to be tough. Gotta find a nice creature. But it's still, again, we go to 4. We find something that with feet can... Or we find something that can eat the corpse and then be big enough to then block and trade with a golem or something. Anyway, again, if these are... well, the Warden, unfortunately, I know where that is. All right, Pegasus does allow us to eat the corpse. Yay, we get to eat the corpse, everybody! Then, once we've eaten the corpse, we have a 2/4 that can indefinitely block the golem. So, if these are a couple of lands, we are stable. If not, we're probably dead. But this is amazing. Yeah. An over 60 golem corpse, like this is an embarrassment. I really want Akinsa to come and join our crew here. I want Akinsa to come find our stream and see this game because I want to help them get better. They could end up beating us here. We could lose this match, no question. But Akinsa, you need some help, and I want to help. Well, over 40. I mean, they've got 39 cards in their library right now. 4 in the graveyard, 2 in hand, and then the lands. Maybe we're just dead, I don't know. Pump spell for the win, that would be classic new player. Edge doesn't actually kill it, but we still have a good block here, so we're going to hold the edge. Yeah, it could be a stipulation, but more likely a new player. Because even if it was a stipulation, I would expect to see a higher quality cards. Yeah, imagine imagine 1993, people at Gen Con picking up their very first Magic product and trying to figure this game out. I can't, like, it's a testament to the strength of this game's core mechanics that it survived the complexity of the early stuff. All right, well, now we need a creature that's 2 mana so that we can Hunter's Edge whatever they play and still have blocks. Or actually, if they only play 1 creature, we're still okay. We Hunter's Edge whatever small thing they play. Wow, wait. They just, oh, they didn't have the mana for it. Ah, we needed really not a land here. That's so frustrating. We have 8 lands. I guess that's not so unusual. We're only, yeah, our land count is about normal, so I'm just having woe is me stuff. Oh no, we're still not dead. We just need, I'm gonna play this Plains, and we need to double spell next turn, exactly. The trouble is they're going to play the 7/3 and the 2/2, and we need so we need to 2-spell. The killing the 7/3 will not be enough. Yeah, but we're halfway through our deck, so at a 9/8 split or whatever, at a 17 lander, we're right on target for expected number of lands, is what I'm saying. Come on, help us out, deck. Help us out. Not like this. The game we play. The game we play. All right. Let's show why we play best of 3. I mean, I suppose with that opponent, maybe I should be making him attack, but heck, they attacked with no good attack there, so I'm going to give them credit for attacking outside of that. Might need to bring in our own ground beef. I still like the Warden, but we could cut like a Stalker 9 lives. You think that would be good here? Secure gets rid of the big stuff, yeah. I don't know. I was just reading it. Like, I suppose the argument would be if the only thing they're doing is winning with Gorehorns, then preventing 8 times 7 damage would be pretty good. I see. Secure the scene over maybe a training here. And we could do a Gorehorn of our own. Our deck is already better, but it doesn't mean we can't make it better for this matchup. Like cut Fungal Rebirth. I don't know. I guess they are playing good black removal though. So I'm gonna go with I'm gonna just do this. I like having the one thing for big green stuff since that seems to be what they're up to. No, we didn't, Gaitsu. We just bricked and flooded at the wrong times. We weren't. Our land count wasn't unusually high even. We just couldn't draw at the right time. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. If we keep this and don't find a creature, we lose to one of the weakest decks I've ever lost to. But this is strong if we get even just one creature. However, yeah. That's hindsight, though. I had my reasons. You want to keep this? What do we do if we don't find a creature? Ugh. I'm going to mulligan this. I don't want to go out like that. This seems much better to me, even though it's floody. Need some help off the top, but we have the lands for our whole deck here, except for one card. Well, I guess we added Secure the Scene, too. Now we have that. Okay, enough of the lands deck. Please, please feed us some help, please? Come on. Come on. Yes, we're duress proof and have some obvious discards. Secure the Scene. Now we're not duress proof, but oh well. Hang in there, Box Pun. Yeah, seeing a 4-color deck open on 3 swamps is pretty good. Pretty good, but that was funny. 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. I haven't really seen the Stalker. This is game. It never showed up in the first match, and this is, yeah, I haven't seen it yet. All right, I actually like that. I did not want to use Secure the Scene on the Lurker. I don't want to attack in and use feet to kill the Lurker, but I also didn't want to do nothing. So this is a great draw because we get to play it, keep feet up, and what I want is to give Oppo a chance to use up their targeted 5-mana removal on one of our creatures here and use that to feat, and then we have something that can attack into Lurker, or we Secure the Scene after that. Ooh, that's a good deck name, Hat. We got to keep that one in mind if we get more Feet of Resistance decks in the future. Keep your feet up. I like it. When this creature dies, draw a card. Well, hopefully, maybe that means they want to race. Although, this is exile, so it doesn't even die. We're just going to exile it and go shields down, I think. So, shields down on feet for a turn, meaning they get to pick off one of our creatures if they want, but we get a secure the scene unless they've got a feat of their own. Let's attack first, see what they've got going on that front. I'm going to hold off on this. If we find a land off the top, we get Mangara with feet up after the secure the scene, so that seems fine. Two for 1.75 for one, because they get a 1/1 back. Just what I was trying to prevent against, but I like the exchange anyway. And with them at 8, I'm gonna just hold up double feet. I don't see playing Mangara until I can hold up feet. Because if they go for another finishing blow here, the finishing blow is ours. We go feet, make a 4 mana, untap, main phase, feet, pro white, 4 mana, 4 power. Anyway. Yeah, we can even, if they go shields down, just go for the win. Yeah, I can't do pro white first. All right, well now, that's pretty bold. I think we go, we just go feet into feet, and they need to get, use black removal on it in response, and then we respond with the other one. So I think we just have this here. I'm gonna go for it. Now it's protection from their deck. Sending it back like that. Just asking you to get blown out by ghost fire. I told you you can have feet flood. Jeez. Keeping this though. And let's leave off the swoop. I think Swooper is the least important card of these three. We're going to need to find green to win. There's our green. Oh, Chorister, you're a touch late. Would have loved if those cards were swapped, but we'll go with Watchdoggy here. Next turn we have Chorister with feet up. That's not the worst. We do have to keep in mind, Oppo has shown the haze. They could wipe the board, potentially. They seem to be stuck on mana, though. We're on the draw, right? So they're stuck on 2. I like the Chorister feet situation. If they find a land and go for the sweep, we probably save the doggy with a counter. Although Pro Black doesn't save the Chorister or anything from -X, -X. any newer players out there, that's one of the trickier interactions with this protection from color. You would think if a spell says a black spell said everything gets -X, your instinct would be that protection from black would save your creature from that, but it does not prevent -1/-1 global effects from happening. Still, if they can't find a play, it's going to be trouble. I'm not going to bite on the feet here. All right, we did get our 4th land. We can just go Acolyte and double it up. And if they do find land Sweeper, they only get the Chorister. We could also go Diplomat, but then they would get the Watchdog. So I'm going to go Acolyte so that if they find their small Sweeper, they don't get 2 cards. Four-color deck, how happy do you think they are that they finally find a 3rd land and it doesn't produce a color? That's why you just don't do that. I mean, this is just a deck building mistake, and this is really kind of a trap card for newer players because newer players just love life gain. I don't know. I mean, I could see that earlier, Haj. I don't think I've overthought anything here. Really, what I'm trying to do is make sure I don't lose to the bad player by not thinking about their good cards. I like Pteranodon, and then send in non-Chorister and just hold here. In this spot, I don't see not holding up feet from here. All of our creatures but one survived their Sweeper that I'm playing around. And these should be enough to get it done. Yeah, I mean, that would be fine. If they tap out to play a creature, we just win, right? We get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We get 11. But they're discarding now. Sorry, Oppo. You've made your choices, though. Now, if we want to attack, though, I need to feat. I could play Canopy Stalker. I don't care anymore. Now I'm going to go Canopy Stalker, shields down, turns on the Pteranodon, and now if they -2/-2 after this, we just win, because they take our Chorister and our Stalker, but then we win. I want Stalker because it has 4 power and lets Pteranodon attack. And I just don't think we can lose with that attack. All right, good game, Oppo. I would love to reach out and say, come hang with us. We could make you a much better drafter. If that's what you want to do. Some people just want to play their cards and not worry about improvement as much as enjoying the moment. All right, we're playing for 3-0. That feels good. You're welcome, Jake. I try. I am going to run off screen to make Hat nervous and refresh my beverage. I'm out of coffee. I'll be right back, and we'll try for win number 3, okay? Hang tight. Hello. All right. Let's get that 3rd win. some rough openers. I mean, we're 2-0, but on some rough openers. Show me a forest here. How good does this hand look? Without a forest, how bad is this hand? I'm gonna mulligan. I just can't. We can't count on a forest, and without a forest, with this deck rolls over and dies. Much better. With lack of even a 4-drop, I'm going to be greedy and ditch a plains and try to just find one land to at least turn on everything we've got in our hand so far. If we draw a land, I'm going to go Pteranodon. See, if we had a land, we can go Pteranodon, Pride Malkin, but now I don't know for sure we're going to find a third land, and sure, we could Feat of Resistance the Pteranodon to ensure that it attacks, but I would rather go Watchdog here, and really, if we even find a land, going Dino on turn 3, and then setting up potentially, you know, Pride Malkin shenanigans on turn 4, especially because we might not even have a 4th land on turn 4. But yeah, I agree with True. I think if we had drawn the 3rd land, I absolutely play the Pteranodon, but I want 100%. I want it to be 100% on Pteranodon, not maybe. So playing to get lucky is... I think that's reasonable if you're in a spot where those are your only choices. There was a little pause there. Maybe they have the force spike, and we had the tools to not force it there. Here, I'm going to actually go with this training on Pteranodon, looking for a 4th land here. Found it, and the feat is nice. Now we get to block the Larcenist with the dog if the Larcenist stays on the ground. No guarantee that it will. It could easily get the Rousing Reed going on it for serious card draw. Mind Rot. Well, well, well. What is important here? We could feat right now and make something big, but I think we give up the feat and the Pride Malkin since our Pteranodon is already big enough, and we just keep the Swooper and hope that we can aggro them out here. Mind Rot again. What is going on? Come on. After getting a Mind Rot, we have to draw the worst card in our deck, another Forest. But we got some beats. Let's see if they can continue. Another pause there. Maybe they got opt or something. What do we want to have fly? I guess this ensures the most damage if they were to block. Maybe it's the same amount of damage if they block. I don't think it matters. Rookie mistake? Oh, gift. Well, that could have been a reason to do it that way. Yeah, Freeder called it. I didn't play around the gift. Hopefully this Swooper will be enough to get there, but they're playing blue and black, so I'm not, yeah, still. I mean, but we could have 2-for-1 for a different card, though, right? Or actually, I guess they would have just eaten the Watchdog anyway, so. Drawing more of our worst card, but still have a clock that could get us there. I've been seeing gift more lately. Wow, our deck is trying really hard to keep us from 3-0. We're fighting against it, but man, our deck is trying hard to keep us from 3-0. Now I feel like we have to play out a forest. don't think it's a terrible card, but it's hard to get a 1-for-1 with it. Like, you need big butts. If you've got big butts in your defensive, then I'm in, because then you can get into spots where Alchemist Gift is trading for a creature and a card. You know, 1 mana and a card for a creature is a great deal, but 2 cards and 1 mana for a creature and one of your creatures is not. Yeah, actively good in white-black, but it's not easy. It needs some careful play to get the most out of it. It's I think newer players with it tend to 2-for-1 themselves negatively. Swing with what? I don't want to trade Swooper for Ghostlight, so I'm not... Well, I wasn't planning on swinging at all. Well, there's why Oppo's 2-0. Not even GG. Shh, you people.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
Now I gotta win this. Just in case, I'm gonna play Forest. But this deck is being ridiculous. F you Shuffler, seriously. Why are you all on secure all of a sudden? What is secure? Why does this collection of cards make you want to snap bring in a secure? I don't see it. Yeah. We want to get rid of a rousing read? Like, I don't know. We're not bringing in a secure just because we saw a rousing read. Mutt is a consideration, but I don't even like that. I mean, a rousing read is not something I'm trying to respond to. I think we just try to actually draw a mix of our land and spells and yeah, try to aggro them into the ground. The only thing I might want to do is increase our speed, like try to get lower down, but we don't really have the tools for that unless we want to bring in like battlements for a 4, but I don't see doing that. Like for a stalker, nah. Let's just try to have a reasonable couple of draws for once. Warden could be scaled down. I still just like it. It's just such a good card. I'm going to keep it in. I think I just got to believe in the deck and get a little bit better luck here. Come on now, deck. That was cute. But how about 2 beautiful draws in a row here? Oh, I meant to hit play. That was just a misclick. But maybe it even helps here. Now that was a total misclick. I think I did it to myself by saying 2 beautiful draws. Did you hear? Because I said to myself, what I want, deck, is 2 beautiful draws, and I think I just clicked the button that said draw. But we got to keep this now in hopes that that works out. Watch, it's all going to work out. We're not going to draw planes off the top, but our second card is going to be a planes, making it the perfect choice. I'm kind of being stubborn. This is probably a mulligan, but Tired of it. Tired of mulliganing. There. We got there. And continuing to get there. We're gonna save the mentor and go containment priest first. Never punished called. My recent wounds beg to differ, but I hear you. And yeah, we might find ourselves a one of our 4 feats. So I'm just going to play Pegasus. And flooding here, not the worst with the warden waiting in the woods. Against black-blue, containment priests might randomly be frustrating our opponent. Interesting. We can go Chorister, hold up Rebirth. We can just give up and play the Mentor now into possible removal, knowing that we do have the Rebirth. So I kind of like Chorister, Mentor with Fungal Rebirth to save us, and then Chorister has pumps next turn. Mind Rot. Let's just ditch Plains and Warden, and then if we want, we can get the Warden back. Battalion is pretty exciting for next turn, but we're just on attack with Pegasus here. I don't know why we're seeing so much Mind Rot today. Duress and Mind Rot from every opponent. Are you serious with this? Let's see, if we send... What can we send that is useful? I think we just have to hold and wait for some of our +1 action. Or our feat, like Feat of Resistance. But if we go Battalion, Chorister, Pegasus, what happens? They eat the Chorister and we get a 5/4. Is it worth eating a Chorister to get a 5/4 off the Battalion? That didn't seem worth it to me, but maybe. Yeah, I don't like giving up the Chorister. If we were to do that, I'd go Peggy, Priest, Battalion. But you could convince me that's correct. Yeah, okay, we'll do that. Especially tapped out. We know what we're doing here. This is trading. Basically, we're saying move the 2/2 power on this priest and turn it into enchantment on the Battalion instead. That's true. We do get a double eat here. And a Chorister would have prevented that. So maybe that wasn't good. I kind of ended up not processing that correctly. That's not in my brain what I was thinking was going to happen. I mean, it's not the absolute worst, but that's not the trade I signed up for. So I don't know about that. Well, if we send the Chorister gets eaten by the Lurker, but we still have the Pegasus. That would have been the line there. So basically, we lose Peggy and Containment Priest, or we lose just the Chorister. Well, it's actually not a great attack for them, though. I'm gonna keep playing stuff. Now I want that secure the scene. Okay. But we just send the battalion, right? If we send dog, chorister, and battalion, we are offering, we're trading off those off again. Why not? What about just battalion? And if they block, we feat and try and eat the lurker that way. I think we just send the battalion. True wants to send in every. I mean, we could make it a 7. You're right, 7-6 into a 9-8. Pretty sweet. Trade 2 creatures, and we get a 9-8 without trample. Yeah, and we know they have a potential bomb. I'm going to send just the battalion now. Telegraph our feet, but let them do what they will. In a sense, if we're playing around removal, though, I shouldn't do this at all, because removal in response to the feat is going to be a blowout against us. But yeah, exactly. They snap block if it's an epiphany. Interesting. So that's a little scary. But we try. Wait. Can't. No, I think we needed... I mean, the whole point of that was to take care of their huge creature. So I think we had to. Pteranodon, still enough to trade. We can actually send... Now we send Chorister. And if they block, fine. If we pump, and if not, we Pteranodon. Well, we could send Chorister, Dog, and Battalion. Yeah, and then if they put both on, we trade, and that's fine. So let's do that. Yeah, we're 2-0, but down again here in match 3. Is the cage zombie doing work? It has literally been a 2-3 for 3, so to the extent that a vanilla 2-3 does work, it's done work. Hey there, they did it! It's no longer a vanilla. Okay, we came back, have our chance. Oh, did they have they already done it once? There you go. Okay, twice. It was never a vanilla. Got it. They are piling up on the... I think we bring in the secure now because we can exile that enchantment. So we bring in secure and cut down... We could even cut a feat. Or maybe we just cut the training, though. Cut the training, keep the secure. And keep the feats. Maybe it'll be head games and Oppo will put me on the play because I chose the draw last time. What? And we're mulliganing again? You gotta be kidding me. All right, come on, whatever. This deck can win on 6. Show me how this deck wins on 6. Ready? That's not a bad start. Could be better. No 2-drops yet, but we're gonna ditch the Fungal Rebirth and keep. We could ditch one of the feats. What do you think? 1 feat or a Fungal Rebirth? If we had like a 2-drop creature, I might keep the Rebirth because it would get us some action back, but there's nothing to even get with the Fungal Rebirth right now, so I'm pitching it. Boy, our excellent deck is trying so hard to keep us from 3-0. Trying so hard. Starting to work. All right, well, we are going to hope that Canopy Stalker does some business. But Radianware, it's in your head. Radianware is calling shuffler shenanigans, but Radianware, it's in your head. Or you're not shuffling well enough in paper. I suppose that's possible. But the idea that this is a some sort of digital problem is something entirely in your head. Let's see, we can go, maybe we go Swooper to block the Shacklegeist. Don't want to lose here, but if we get Basri's out, we get a Lifelinker out, which could help us next turn. The trouble is, Basri is underwhelming here. It only gets 1 counter. But what do we do? Like if we swoop, block the Shacklegeist, or swoop, pass, and hold up double feet? Maybe that's what we're doing here. I think we attack regardless with the Stalker. Obviously, it's not blocking anything. And yeah, I think we have to play the Swooper. Huh. I'm happy. That's weird. Can't believe they didn't take out the Swooper for the clean 5. We're going to say no blocks and hope we find a land for Secure the Scene on the zombie. And then have blocks for the 2 flyers. There's the land. I'm assuming we need to secure the scenes. I suppose we could keep feet up, but everything is flying, so we need to secure and hope that they don't have removal. I think we're dead, but feet up is better. I guess it does allow us to kill the zombie, but then we go to 1. And then how do we win from there? We play secure after that, and then we have the... but then we're at 1 and losing to a 1... Yeah, we can then battalion to block the 1/1. They tap the Swooper. Right. So we need that to prevent the tap. Okay, so we're going to go battalion. Keep up feet, because we just straight up lose to the tap if we don't. Good call. I didn't read the rest of Shacklegeist. But I still think we're probably dead to them untapping and removing, but at least we're playing to our outs. But man, what a cruel, cruel final couple of matches. We managed to play through the pain and win the second match, but this is just variance saying you get no chance. Also, Oppo with Epiphany in the first game didn't hurt, but I feel like our deck has been struggling to just find decent, reasonable draws, and I love this deck. It's just been tough to find the draws. Wow, if this holds them back, this is great for us. They should swing away and make us trade off that zombie. But that's amazing. It would only been more amazing if we'd found land. Oh my god, if we find a plains, we could go Acolyte and have feet. Now we're in a double feet situation. This can only activate if a creature's died, though, right? So, looks like they're going back to the Shacklegeist plan. If we Acolyte, they Shacklegeist, and we lose. Yeah, but I'm saying this turn. I mean, I just thought you were talking about... If we allow them to tap without feet protection, we just lose. So we cannot drop below 2 mana here, which just answers it. Like, we can't do anything. We secure the scene, the Shacklegeist. In response, they tap our flyer, and they are attacking us for 6 in the air. I mean, we could attack with the battalion. That part doesn't matter. Nah, yeah, that's true, but I don't think they care about life total. Their life total. Our only option is to protect against Shacklegeist. Unfortunately, Oppo is right. That's fine. That's also fine. We are going to... Well, it's not desirable or anything. If we find land, we still can't feat with secure, and we need to keep... But secure may be our answer to getting out of this. Stalker... Yeah, Stalker and Mangara or Acolyte. These are very similar, but Acolyte... Oh yeah, we know Acolyte is better to pitch, because we might want to play this. Yeah, but they both have lifelink. And this one says do more stuff if they... What a way to go. I cannot believe we're getting hit with frickin' Mind Rots successfully. Mind Rot. You can rot, Andy. Whatever. Congrats on your stupid Mind Rots. Yeah, athlete's foot. We are basically dead. I'm pretty tilted. We should win that match so much, such the majority of the percentage of the time. I did not respect those mind rots, even as they were hurting me, and I think we win that match the majority of the time. So definitely feeling the salt right now, but magic is magic. Still happy to be here playing with you all, and we still got to 1,000 gems. That's nice to get that kickback. I try to get over it quick. Acknowledge my salt, acknowledge the frustration at losing to cards I don't really respect, but then gotta move on. I'm gonna go ahead and crack packs here one at a time because we're so close to completing our 4X. I want to see if we can find some gems in here. There we go. We did it. So, silver lining to the salty silver lining. We did at least 4X our rares on M21, and that was with light play and very little rare drafting. Like we didn't rare draft a ton and still got to the 4X. So there you go. That's 2. Yeah, the digital dupe of identical card names is, I don't know. The economy is so largely free and easy that some reprint stuff like that, you know, okay, I'm not going to get on them. I don't care. I get that some people find it really like, oh my God, the temples are a waste or whatever, but overall, the value proposition here is so great. I'm not going to sweat an occasional reprint rare, but I get where people are annoyed by it. Might as well keep rocking the Amonkhet since I don't know, maybe we'll play this next week, but maybe we're done with Amonkhet Remastered, so might as well open these too. Well, I'm expecting that kind of stuff will happen in the future, especially around dual lands. I mean, the rares that WotC reprints the most are their dual lands, so I just think dual lands are going to be that. And maybe people will get so annoyed that they solve it. You know, they do something to almost give you some sort of duplicate protection for identically named cards, but I would doubt it. We'll see. If the community gets mad enough, they'll do anything to keep the community happy. I just don't know if it'll rise up. Remora says dual lands shouldn't be rares. Problem solved. I think from a business standpoint, making dual lands rare was probably the smartest thing Richard Garfield did for Alpha. Seriously, like from a business standpoint, from a printing money standpoint, from the get-go, telling players that lands that tap for 2 colors of mana are precious and rare has been a driving force of the Magic economy from its inception. From a card design standpoint, there is no justification for dual lands at rare. There comes a point where if dual lands are too accessible, then the meaning of mana starts to lose it in limited. But I don't deny it. Also, because Richard Garfield was not designing dual lands in a context in which limited was even a thing. But you'll see that, like, so for some sets where the color tax is heavy, like Guilds of Ravnica and Ravnica Allegiance both had the thing where ETB tapped dual lands were in every single pack because that's how important mana was to the set. But you don't want to create limited environments where color doesn't matter, where the fixing is so good that people just play whatever they open, right? So that's where too much mana fixing would lead, and is the balance that Magic has to find. But I don't deny, I believe Richard Garfield is a smart cookie and knew that for the best of the best, these dual lands would be essential, but that for general play they wouldn't be. So I think one of the things rares do for a design standpoint, where you could argue it even for alpha, your argument for dual lands at rare is that competitive excellent players identify them as must-haves for their competitive decks, but they are not very sexy, and it allows a competitive player to trade their sweet Shivan Dragon to a newer player for the dual land, and then both sides are happy of that with that equation, you know. So it does create some trading, some interesting trading stuff. But I hear you. It's not. The game would be a lot different if even dual lands were considered uncommon. Even. So, I haven't said goodbye to YouTube. Why don't I do that here? YouTube, thanks for hanging out for that. Sorry we couldn't get to the 3 wins, but I'm over my salt. That's just Magic. We had a good time. Fun deck, fun draft. Games might have been more fun if Magic's mana system hadn't kicked us in the groin so much, but good times. Bye, YouTube.